Hi, I'm Ruben Morales, Senior Vice President for External Engagement at Wells Fargo. And we at Wells Fargo are so proud to partner with the Latino Coalition in supporting small businesses around the country. Wells Fargo is the #1 bank helping Hispanic families purchase homes, and we're a top bank for SBA loans to small businesses. So we're always looking for opportunities to better serve the Latino community, and especially Latino and Latina-owned small businesses. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you learn a lot. And if you need more information, always feel free to click on wellsfargo.com/biz for more information to help your small business. Thanks.
Hola, thank you for joining us for our podcast and webinar series. My name is Delia Marin, Chief Operating Officer for the Latino Coalition. And on behalf of the Latino Coalition, we are thankful for your support and hope to educate, inspire, and guide all business owners, entrepreneurs, and members of the Latino Coalition with our podcast and webinars. I'd like to thank our corporate sponsor, Wells Fargo, for their support in helping to make this series possible. Be sure to come back and join us in December for our next podcast with members of the Latino Coalition's leadership, who will be providing a year-end review and an overlook for 2024. Today, we are thrilled to present a very informative presentation on the recent updates to the Small Business Administration's 8A certification program. This could mean big things if you're a small business, if you are currently certified or planning to seek an 8A certification. To help us understand these changes is Michael Barrera, Regional Director of the Small Business Administration's Kansas City office. Michael's responsible for the oversight of approximately $861 million of annual federal contracting dollars and $338 million of annual lending guarantees. Through the Kansas City District Office, Mr. Barrera is an experienced attorney with over 30 years of business, government, legal, and nonprofit experience, along with an extensive history with the small business community. Welcome, Michael. We are thrilled to have you with us, sharing your knowledge on the recent updates to the 8A certification program. Please tell us more about these exciting updates to the program.
Gracias, Delia, for inviting me here to talk about the recent 8A decision and how it's going to affect different contractors. I also want to thank the Latino Coalition for inviting me to be here for their Hot Topics series. This is a very important subject, and I hope we can kind of explain some things and try to make it easier for folks to try to figure out what's going on. My name is Mike Barrera, and I am the District Director for the Kansas City District Office of the Small Business Administration. And recently there was a decision that came down regarding the 8A application and 8A business development. So right now the 8A program, as everybody knows, it is a business development certification program that's run by the Small Business Administration. Recently a decision came down that's affecting how those who are going to apply and how you're exactly going to prepare yourself for the application. In fact, I believe Tico's Productions, which is one of our 8A clients here in town, recently had to go through the 8A application process. So right now I'm going to kind of go through some of the important talking points with this particular decision. Right now there was a recent court decision that came down sometime in July of this year. And it did have an effect on the 8A program. A lot of folks were concerned about how this is going to affect the 8A program and whether or not it's going to result in the 8A program going away, result in the 8A program being severely limited. But actually, it's been worked out, and the 8A program is strong and alive. Here's the background of that decision. I don't want to get too much into this, and I'm not going to give legal advice. And if anybody wants any legal advice, be sure and talk to your particular attorneys. On July 19, 2023, a federal district judge enjoined the Small Business Administration from using the rebuttable presumption of social disadvantage in administering the 8A Business Development Program, the 8A program. And what that means is rebuttable presumption normally means that all you had to do is basically apply, and if you're a minority, you would basically be automatically enrolled in the 8A program, provided you did all the different certification requirements that you had to do. So the court case was actually Ultimate Services Corporation versus Department of Agriculture. And there was a case number there. I'm not going to get into that. But again, that was decided at the Eastern District of Tennessee. The court found that the use of the presumption, rebuttable presumption, violated the plaintiff's Fifth Amendment right to equal protection of law. So basically, another firm filed a lawsuit against the ADA's use of this particular rebuttable presumption program, and the fact that the USDA, Department of Agriculture, gave a contract to someone else. So at that point, SBA got together with the Department of Justice, and they tried to figure what's the best way to help these businesses continue to use the 8A program. So actually, the DOJ, Department of Justice, gave SBA guidance on the court order. And right now, 8A is requiring all 8A participants who originally relied upon the presumption of social disadvantage in their application to reestablish we reestablish 8A program eligibility by completing a social disadvantage narrative. So what that means is that those who were not minorities, whether they be Hispanic, Black, Native American, or Asian, to name the few that we had on there, they got the rebuttable presumption that they were socially disadvantaged and eligible for the 8A program. But everybody else had to write a social disadvantage narrative to show why they were socially disadvantaged. So right now, everybody has to write that social disadvantage narrative. So right now, in order to get the program started again, we basically put this program on pause until we can figure out how to comply with the court's decision. So on September 29, 2023, SBA reopened the application process for new applicants, and a new guidance was available to applicants that were in the process of applying and those who had already applied. And here's some of the guidance. This is all kind of a short summary of it all, but all this information can be found on the SBA website. If you go to the SBA website and when you're on there, you'll see federal contracting. Press federal contracting, and then at that point, you'll see some information on 8A, and go to that particular sub part of the website and you'll find more information. But I'm including some of this information in the PowerPoint here today. At that time, the SBA reopened the 8A application for new applicants. The new application process for individual-owned firms has been updated. Entity-owned firms, and when we say entity, that means Alaska Native corporations, Native Hawaiian organizations do not need to submit a narrative, but all individual applicants have to do this. Right now, there's a lot of folks that have a lot of questions, and SBA is great about FAQs. And the guidance that's available there will help guide you through a lot of this information, and we put the website there on this particular slide. Now, like I said, we updated the 8A application by adding plain language and a fillable questionnaire for applicants to identify their social disadvantage. Firms right now have the option to prepare the social disadvantage narrative, or they can upload it directly at this particular website there at https://certified.sba.gov. And there the SBA FAQs will cover this particular information, how to prepare your social disadvantage narrative, using examples from any point in your life where you were socially disadvantaged, revised opportunities for narratives, clarification on the narrative format, and access to FAQs on this particular information is found at this particular website. Now, guidance for applicants working through their application. Again, this is not going to be easy, but when you're going to an 8A, it has to be complete. I have a lot of folks that will ask us, why should we do this? Why do we need to do this? Well, if you don't do it, the federal agencies will not work with you. And but the good thing about this application, once you do it once, you're good. You don't have to, if you try to get another 8A contract with another agency, you don't have to rewrite the narrative. The narrative is good the first time you write it and get it approved. You don't have to worry about writing it again. So right now you can upload your social disadvantage narrative under the disadvantaged applicant section of your 8A application in the particular website shown here. Now, to upload your social disadvantage narrative, when you're going to see an option to push none of the above in response to presumed disadvantaged group question, because there's no longer a presumed disadvantaged group. So you'll push none of the above on that. You'll follow the guidelines and the templates to create your narrative. The official guides to compose your narrative are at this website that we reference here. You upload the narratives and your designated section of the application. Once it gets there, it'll go to some folks at the SBA headquarters. Now, one thing I want to say here is that the SBA, your local offices are available to assist, but they cannot help you write that narrative. Once you write that narrative and submit it, and certified.gov, there will be there are actually experts in our headquarters that will review it, and they'll send you back whether or not it's good or not, but they'll give you guidance how to complete that narrative. So you're not alone in doing this. Now, this is for guidance for those who've already submitted their application. And most folks who've submitted their application, we've already kind of reached out to you. You either got a robocall, or you've got an email, or your local SBA office has tried to contact you to fill out your social narrative to get you up to date. So if your application has already been received by SBA, or if you have not already done so, we will include a social disadvantage narrative application for each disadvantage. You must include a social disadvantage narrative for each disadvantaged individual in your application. So if you're co-owned by someone else, you both have to submit that narrative. You have to be prepared to provide the information to complete your application by reviewing this guide that we select here, that's here on this website. If you've already submitted your application, please note that it will be turned to you by the SBA for further information if we need to give more information to make sure that your application is going to pass muster with the federal courts. After, we will review these applications on a rolling basis. So the quicker you get it in and get it in right, the quicker we'll be able to certify you and get you certified for the 8A. Now, I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but here's the best thing to ask for questions. It's really easy, 8aquestions@sba.gov. That's a great resource to help you find any information that you need about your 8A application. And then we just kind of want to sum this up. If you have any questions about your 8A application, or if you care about, you would try to get some information on funding, information just on who else to reach out to, go to sba.gov/push local-assistance. And once you do that, you'll type in a zip code, and that'll send you to the SBA, your local SBA office, and the different resource partners that can assist you, whether it be small business development centers, or SCORE, or what we call our APEX. And these are folks that will help you fill out that application. And they not only help you with your local federal applications, they will help you with, if you want to do federal government business in general, they can help you with that. They can help you with local government contracts, whether it be state or federal or city. There's a lot of information that the SBA and its partners can help you with this. We look forward to working with you. And I just think it's great that we can do this. You know, I got to give, and it was one of the few times, it's a bit hard for me to say this, we've got to thank the lawyers with DOJ and the lawyers with SBA. They put this together pretty quickly, but they did it very thoroughly to make sure that folks can participate in this very important program. The 8A program has been around for 50 years, and we hope it'll be around another 50 years. And a lot of folks have taken advantage of it. And it's one of those programs that, remember, it's always an 8. It is a business development program. It's not a contracting program, but we help you get certified. We help you get ready. We'll help you actually train you to help you go for these different federal contracts. That's just 8A. But I also want to point out that 8A is not the only certification that the SBA works on. We work on HubZone. We work on different small business development, small disadvantaged businesses. We work on several women-owned small businesses. Work on all these different certifications, veteran-owned businesses, to help you give you a little bit of step up in working with the federal government. The federal government does close to $600 billion in federal contracts a year. And 23% of that is supposed to go to small businesses. But last year, the administration put some new requirements on us, and actually some new goals. And the federal government did close to 28% of federal contracts last year with small businesses. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. There's billions of dollars. Please take advantage of these programs. Contact your local SBA office, who will be more than happy to help you. I want to thank the Latino Coalition for their Hot Topics series and how we can work with them, and they've been a great partner with us. We look forward to working with them and all our resource partners here in the Kansas City area, and I know I speak for the rest of our district directors. They look forward to working with you as well. Thank you and having a wonderful day.
Thank you, Michael, for joining us today and for a very informative session. And on behalf of the Latino Coalition, thank you all for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next month for an informative recap of 2023 with public policy updates from the Latino Coalition's own Omar Franco and a complete year-end recap of TLC's accomplishments by our chairwoman, Jeanette Prenger, and President Cici Rojas. Once again, thank you to our corporate sponsor, Wells Fargo, for their support in helping to make this series possible. Thank you and have a wonderful day.